Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody this morning to our advisory committee meeting for Veterans Memorial Island. Officially, summer is done. We have begun the fall. And so with that, I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Barb,
sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you're like me, you may have left your cell phone on, so make sure that those are turned off. Next on the agenda is the minutes from last month. I think it has been sent out to people to review. Are there any recommendations for additions, deletions, modifications?
Mr. Chair, the one item we talked about.
Okay, there was one point that Don mentioned under the World War II memorial. The note there was that the bronze plaque for the memorial was on its way back to Vero, okay? And in essence, it's not back to Vero, it's outbound. So that will impact, as far as when that's completed. So just that one change, and it's 6A, if you would update that. Okay. Any other? Okay. Hearing none, that'll be filed.
Move they be approved as corrected.
Second?
Yeah, make a motion to approve it as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I know for a fact that Mr. Paulson is away with family matters, and John, I suppose, will be here momentarily. Okay. Okay. Moving next to audience participation. At the top there is the Alzheimer's, Parkinson's and Alzheimer's Association. So, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. I'm Eileen O'Donnell. I live at 7660 15th Street here in Vero Beach. I am a participant as far as being a volunteer, and I have the prestigious honor of co-chairing the annual Walk to Remember, which is our fundraiser for the Alzheimer Parkinson's Association of Indian River County. Second year I've participated, and I have to say it's an incredible event. We do it down at Riverside Park. This year we are sharing Riverside Park with the firefighters, chili and salsa cook-off. It's a lot to say, so forgive me. It'll be an active day, a great day for our county. But Peggy and I were just walking, and we were kind of realizing that there might be a little bit might be a little crowded. We have sometimes up to 600 people that participate, of which a lot of people are affected with either Alzheimer's, dementia, or Parkinson's. So we were just kind of having our moment, and we decided to wander over to Memorial Island, and we did, and we both just kind of looked at each other, and we're kind of welling up, and we're just kind of like, how perfect this could be. We have a leg that has been mapped out with Rob and his team for years. This would be the 11th annual walk. So ultimately, we were just kind of planting the seed, you might say, as far as maybe it being a consideration of it truly being only reflection. We would have a sign at the entrance of the park that this would be a quiet time, because we have to reflect on basically all the veterans that we are dealing with, afflicted with the diseases, and those that we've lost. So we would make sure that we respected the area. It would be a walk only. They wouldn't have any materials. There would be no garbage. There would be no pamphlets. There would be nothing. It would be quiet time. And with that being said, there's so much more to the organization that has power behind this. And with that, this is Peggy Cunningham, the Executive Director of the Alzheimer Parkinson's Association.
Good morning. I provided you with a little background material on us just because we do like to shout about who we are and what we do, and because we've had so much growth over the past few years as we've provided services for families who are dealing with issues of memory and movement. We've had an amazing growth. We've had our support group is how we started. Back in 1982. And that's the core of what we are. But in 2009, when the board took a leap and put us into 4,000 square feet, we found out a little bit more about what we could do for the community in terms of respite. We have an incredible respite program in the morning at our spot. We have virtual dementia tours. We have movement programs. We have vocal programs. We have memory screening. We're pretty busy throughout most of the day. It seemed, as we began to talk about this idea of asking to include Memorial Island on our walk, and we began to talk a little bit more about the amount of veterans that are part of our client base. If you think just in terms of Alzheimer's, which we don't anymore. We think in terms of dementia. 1 in 8 over the age of 65. 1 in 2 by the time you're 85. Parkinson's. In this county, we figure there's about 800 to 900 people with Parkinson's, 10 times that with essential tremor. In terms of Alzheimer's in this county, around 5,000. Yeah, we're dovetailing our statistics with national statistics. But it seems that because so much of our client base does involve veterans, we just thought it would be a very organic relationship that we are hoping will grow. This was sort of as Eileen said, the seed. But it's also a good chance for you to know who we are and what we do, and perhaps we can find some partnerships down the road. Any questions?
No, I was just going to say, Peggy, this is a marvelous project you have anyway. And I think you have chosen a way to handle the respect that goes with the island in a way that enhances what you all are trying to do. And I really appreciate the fact that you all have come to explain to us and to, I hope, our public out there, because so many times people get the wrong idea of what an organization is trying to do. I think you've projected it. Now, but you've projected it exceptionally well. The actual Walk to Remember goes on how long over in the park? I mean, Riverside Park.
A couple of hours.
Yeah, we're generally packed there by 10:30. It starts at 8. The walk starts at 8:30. We start the program at 8, where we welcome everybody on the stage, which is under the oaks. We have a color guard. We bring our veterans up on the stage while we sing the national anthem, because we always have this on Veterans Weekend. And then we begin the walk. It is not a fast walk. We have people in wheelchairs. We have people in strollers. It is not a running event. Nobody's timed. And sometimes we even, just make one loop instead of two. The whole point of it is really an awareness. It is fundraising for sure. This event does net us around in the $60,000, which pays the rent for a year, and but it's really a friend raiser more than anything. So it's a really wonderful way to start off Saturday. It's a very nice event.
Okay.
Anybody else? Joel?
Yeah, you have on the roundabout there, you have the pencil in the word Perkins. What is going to be?
Oh, that was the only map we had, and we didn't want me to draw a new one because that wouldn't work out. That was a water station. That year we had a water station in that roundabout right in front of the
Entrance.
right in front of the entrance to the veterans. And the walk generally went from the Oaks in front of the museum around down the cul-de-sac, which is where the chili cook-off stage had been planned, and then back around, and then we go down and underneath the bridge, underneath the big bridge.
Okay, what's your plans for that roundabout this year?
Everything stays intact. Rob with Parks and Recreation has been outstanding, accommodating.
Come on here, so not everybody else can hear you.
I'm so
There you
sorry.
go.
We are intact with the plan as usual. At one point, the stage was going to be set up earlier for the chili cook-off, but Rob and Parks and Recreation have been outstanding to accommodate kind of having a holding area and then the next day bringing everything out so that it wouldn't interfere aesthetically or physically with the purpose of our walk. But again, we could separate the two events if we did incorporate the island and not have to worry about taking a right loop and going down towards the bridge and going under the pass. And we could just stay in the park, under the Oaks, loop around, go through Memorial Island. We could keep it to a 2K, walk to Remember. So we have some revisions that we could basically.
Right, but I guess my question is, at that roundabout there, you were going to have a watering station only, correct?
That can be moved. Or we have cheerleaders
That's where we have had them.
Yeah.
But if that's a consideration for if you allowed us to use the island and you didn't want that like that,
Well,
we pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barb, anything? Okay. John, the Eileen and Peggy are here with the Alzheimer's Association, and then they're going to have a fundraising, which will include a walk, and we've asked them just to share with us what their plans were. The question that I had was this map here, basically, I think the sentiment of the board is that we support the idea of coming onto the island for the veterans. So if that was the case, would you come across a bridge and go around the entire perimeter and then back across? Is that the idea? Okay. All right. And then the other question that I had was how many veterans do you anticipate will be there that day from the numbers that you're expecting? You have any idea?
It varies. It seems some years we've had as many as 50. We only know from the ones that come up on the stage when we call them up. So we've had as many as 50, as few as 30. Mm-hmm. I think with awareness that this was going to be included as part of all of this. I would hope more.
Yeah.
I think we have ways, if we do know that we could incorporate the island into the walk, that we would be able to promote redirect. Joel and Becky are dear in my little world, and as is John, the store at the mall. I mean, we would have ways to promote it so that the veterans and the affliction, I think a lot of people, it'd be educational on a lot of levels.
There's a lot of merit in a number of ways.
Absolutely. We can definitely build that number, and we'd like to.
The other question was back towards the actual association about, is it as high as 50% of your clients have a military connection, or is it, what would you say? What would you say?
We haven't taken that kind of information to find out how many, other than how many we end up sending over to Joel when we talk with them about gathering the benefits. I would say that if you just took the regular statistics, which is sort of how I did it, I would say easily 50% of our.
Wow.
But that's I don't have that in hard numbers. But
and that's just a judgment that I was trying to.
It's building in the demographics, and if you look at the age group, it really kind of goes hand in hand. It's a very predictable number.
Yeah.
I think as we are collecting data, and we've only really started collecting data since 2011, as you can see from the program growth. But that would certainly be something that would be good to find out.
Okay. Just from looking at numbers previously, about 75% of the veterans typically are older, 65 and up. And if you figure about 14 grand in our county, just as a ballpark figure, 75% of 14,000, you can start seeing there's going to be, based upon the age, probably a pretty good group. John, any questions for the ladies?
No, it seems like it would be okay to include that into the walk.
One more question.
Yeah, go.
Do you guys have any, when folks that show up there for the walks, they don't bring any animals, do they?
No. And we make it really clear. We turned away 2 puppies last year and a pig.
Pig?
Somebody brought their pigs are,
Somebody want to walk with their pig?
Yeah, a little pocket pig. Yeah, but we did. We turned them down. No pets. We are going to have balloon pigs because we have a great kids zone. This year, every year it gets a little. We have great vendors for resources, so all of your local businesses that go hand in hand with supporting the association will be there. And then we have fun activities, and we award people for raising money. And again, we do pay honor to the vet because it's always on Veterans Day weekend. It has been since the inception of the walk. So it just seems to be a natural fit.
So that's the 8th of November from
And Monday.
8:30 to 10:30 time frame. Rob, any points?
No, I think they've said it all.
Okay. All right.
Did you
Don,
say on
anything
Monday?
from
Well, just because Monday's the official holiday, recognized holiday,
Tuesday.
being Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is Tuesday.
The walk is on Saturday. Is it Tuesday?
But anyway, you won't
Sorry.
be there on Veterans Day.
Oh,
so-
Lord, no.
No.
This is the Saturday.
And would anybody be cycling with the walkers? Because
They
there are
don't.
some restrictions on the island that there's a sign there if everybody just.
The only wheels would be wheelchairs and walkers.
Peggy, you all, as long as you use this as your theme, it's wonderful.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I?
And I
What,
know
it-
you will.
I can't. What is that? Can I see?
Excuse me.
Oh, it's a packet.
That's a sample
yeah.
of the
At the end
sign
of the-
that
Thank
we
you.
would
I just-
have.
It may need some better wordsmithing, but basically, our thought was, if we were allowed to route into the island, that we would ask that that part of the walk be the quiet, reflective time, and indicate that with a sign, and we would also indicate that at the beginning with the program from the stage.
I think what I like is a walk to remember and awareness, because a lot of the folks that will be going through Memorial Island will have grandchildren with them, younger children. It exposes the children to that setting. And I also like where you've been talking about the outreach. Well, you'll bring more awareness to your organization, so it does open it up for other vets. I think it's a very positive move that you're going to be doing.
And just for those that are watching, what we're making reference to was a handout that stipulates that, and this will be given to those that are on the walk, and it says, as you walk through Memorial Island, kindly offer quiet reflection on those who have served our country in the armed forces and are now struggling with disorders affecting their memory and movement. So,
Yeah, I think we'd have a sign.
We'll have
actually.
like a banner or a very well professional
there.
sign right before the bridge, right at the turnabout where the tree and the little turnabout is, and an armed supply of bodies, which are the volunteers, which encompasses 30 some odd local business people that volunteer their time for this particular event. We assure you we will police it. And
okay,
we'll make
yeah.
sure.
No, the island the island is pristine. So yeah. That's the only other thing would be just you may want to look at if you want to use the entire perimeter for distances. There's there's a couple options there, but I think unless I hear otherwise, I believe the council fully supports the plan. I think it's outstanding.
Yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I
Yes,
have
Barb?
You're welcome.
I have a question. Does that mean you would eliminate the walk towards the firefighters?
Yes. Thank you.
I'm on the planning committee.
Everybody will be happy, and Rob doesn't have to move stages, and it's a good thing. Thank you very, very much.
Sure. I'm glad you came.
We need a motion?
To make it official.
Okay, sure.
I'll make it.
I'll second. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I don't hear any. Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks again for
extending
coming.
that.
Thank you.
Excuse me for being late this morning. I had a little
You're late.
You're late.
Okay, very good. Public participation or audience participation, where we at? I lost my agenda.
Yeah, that's-
where we at.
That's where we are.
Okay, and we have anybody else from the, that would like to speak? Yes?
Yes.
We do.
That's fine.
Very good.
I recognize it. Yes, okay. It's okay.
I am Anthony Aversa. I'm here with Joe Ciforio. We represent the Indian River Charitable Association, and I can't believe it, but I'm here. It's another year gone by, and I'm here representing the Hackers for Vets tournament we do at the moorings every year. And our T signs, which you see are here, we ask permission, as we've done the last 2 years, to line the road to Memorial Island, leading to Memorial Island in front of the turnaround. We put our signs up early in the morning and to thank the veterans that are attending the veteran services on the island. Our members will put it up, and as soon as it's over, our members take it down.
Okay. Questions from the?
How many signs will
Yes.
it be?
It's the same as every year.
Right.
This is the
We
third
haven't
year
had any
we'll be
problems in the
doing it.
past.
No.
In fact, it's very, very striking.
Yeah, we heard some comments in our office about the signs on the island, how it looked nice, because you had them on both sides of the road last year.
On the road, yes.
People going in and coming out. It's nice
Right.
to see them.
Actually, they're not on the island or on the circle.
No.
They're-
No.
So it's
What
really
we do
more
is we put alongside the road, and we, after the first year, we were told we saved the grass and kept people off that area. So it serves a dual purpose.
Is the Dahlia Lane beautification daily prior to to Veterans Day? Okay.
And you were going to say how many signs there were? Or there are?
I think we had 50 last year. We're hoping for the same amount.
So tell us again, the signs are a way of expressing your appreciation for the sponsors that
Well, no, the
help out
signs
with
we put up is the sponsors, the different community members that sponsored the signs for the tournament,
Okay.
showing their appreciation to all the vets that didn't play in the tournament.
Okay.
Last year I had 65 vets play in the tournament out of 100. So it serves two purposes, and that's why the first year I came to you, because I said, why should just these vets see the signs when we can line them up and let all the vets that
Right.
come to know how much the public
So
appreciates them.
tell us when the golfing tournament is.
It's the last Monday in October. I believe it's October 27th.
October 27th.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I believe this has gone very smoothly in the past. So if you
Yes.
if you have the same discipline as in the previous 2 years,
We will.
I think it'll be fine. Rob, anything from your perspective? All good.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, Rob.
at last year's golf tournament, luncheon at the Irish Club, we were completely sold out for this year.
Yeah.
And there's 100 members, 100 golfers, and 65% of them are veterans. And whatever money we raise goes toward helping the veterans that are homeless. We have 2 houses that we take care of in the way of giving them food. And we have about 12 other families that we give food to. And it's a 100% volunteer organization, and we're 501c3.
And this will be held at the moorings.
At
Yes.
the moorings, yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. A motion? I might as well do that.
I guess it's actually out of our area.
Yeah,
but,
every year we just say.
As long as the city's okay with it.
If they're
yeah.
there when we
Good.
get there,
All right.
fine.
So we'll make.
In nomine
I'll make-
Patri Filii Sancti.
All right. Thank you.
You have our blessing. Thank you, gentlemen.
We support it and appreciate it.
Okay. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. Moving to new business, unless there are anything else from the audience. Hearing none. Okay. New business. Like I said, this is the beginning of fall, September. So Veterans Day this year will be on Tuesday. We will have the ceremony at 9 o'clock in the morning, as we always do. The new slated first vice president, Curtis Paulison, as the new man on the block, will be given responsibility to pull this together. He has that on his slate, and I expect that we'll do it in the manner that the Veterans Council has in the past, with the veterans being recognized, and it'll be a lower key event since we had the 50th anniversary on Memorial Day. But still, it'll be beautiful. Okay.
And I guess on that, we broke from tradition on the the 11th hour, 11th day, 11th month tradition, so that some people who really want to do a lot of Veterans Day celebrating can go to our ceremony on Memorial Island, and then up to Sebastian for the one at Riverside Park there.
Okay. All right, and then the other note is on Veterans Day is a joyous occasion as opposed to the somber occasion, which was Memorial Day. All right. Old business, the World War II monument restoration. Don, come on, please.
Good morning, Don Dexter, Public Works. Well, it's been about a month since we sent the plaque off, so I expect it back in the next couple of weeks. And then once we get it back, we'll get the new pedestal built and get it back up well before Veterans Day.
Good. I was just one comment on that. When I was looking at the figures for the Purple Heart ceremony that was held out at the mall, the Purple Heart Association, that's not their technical name, but their affiliation, said that Florida is the number one state in the union with Purple Heart, not Purple Heart, but World War II veterans. So,
Okay.
pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks.
You're welcome.
Chairman's matters. Quickly, the historical tours of Vero. I expect that we'll have a public comment in regards to that next month. And to my knowledge, without stealing their thunder, but there's an idea to include a Memorial Island with the other historical sites for the first time. And so I would like to kind of understand a little bit more in regards to that. So
I'm looking forward to their presentation.
Yeah. Okay. The Veterans Memorial Island Sanctuary painting. As all of us have seen, the Veterans Council acquired a painting that was done in honor of the 50th anniversary. And that has been on display out at the store. It's coming out of the main front case there, and it has been offered as an opportunity for display here at City Hall. So I wanted to bring that up to the council here to see if they were receptive to that, and if there was any dialogue in regards to recommendations for that.
Okay.
I think it would be good to have it displayed here in the city chamber somewhere. I don't know exactly where that should be, but because where else should it go if it's not out at the mall and then back in somebody's house or so?
Well, it could go to Joel's office. He's asked me for it a couple times.
If the city graciously refuses it, I gladly accept it.
It's the best place for it, City Hall. Bring her
Absolutely.
home.
And you know what? There's a spot right there below that emergency floodlight. I think that'd look real nice right there.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So, Rita, I think I will defer wisely to the city staff, and Jim, if you would assist in making sure that we have that available. So that'd be good.
Is it just, I guess, kind of a technicality for the future, but is it being donated to the city? Will the city then own it, or who owns it?
That is to be clarified, whether it's just will be on indefinite loan or whether it will be an outright gift. That has to be finalized. past.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good. Yes, ma'am.
As far as who owns it, was it given? Was it given to the Veterans Council, or was it given to the city of Vero Beach?
It was purchased by the Veterans Council.
It was purchased by. Okay. All right.
So the ownership is a part of the Veterans Council of Indian River County right now.
Okay. Well, it certainly belongs in this facility. So, however we need to handle that, we certainly should. And the artist, I think that's what she had in mind when she did it.
No,
Okay.
I think the intent has always been at some point to bring it to City Hall. And the dialogue is just a matter of if that was felt to be appropriate by our committee for the city, and then the next question would be the timing, and that will probably be next month, I would think, October timeframe. So, okay. All right. Just some additional points. There's a letter and a donation that was sent to the Memorial Island Committee by Joseph Moderano, and on behalf of his brother that passed, and then as a part of that, he also wanted to extend his thank you to Rip Wheeler, who has also been part of the Memorial Island Committee. So, Rip, thank you very much. Also, we did receive a number of contributions by Mr. Martin in regards to the history of some of the World War II aircraft in operations, the F-2A Buffalo. Richard, thank you. I appreciate that contribution as well. I'm struck, the more I learn of Indian River County and the people that live here, and the wealth of knowledge is enormous. And they care greatly about veterans and Memorial Island. And lastly, once a week for the Veterans Council, there's a radio program that's supported by Bob Seuss. And Bob had asked each week to identify one of the veterans that's honored on Memorial Island. And so far, there's been 3. The first veteran that was recognized was Gene Guy Evans, who was killed aboard the Reuben James that was sunk prior to the start of World War II. The second one was an RAF pilot, and you kind of scratch your head, what Vero Beach kid's flying for the Brits? But the two family, who is it James Dinsmore II, was the son of one of the pioneers that led to the establishment of the airport here in town. He is a Harvard alumnus. His son was a Harvard alumnus, and went off to Japan and realized before the outbreak of the war that we were going into World War. Came back. The United States was still politicizing, I guess would be a good word. And so he went to the Canadian Air Force. They accepted him to support the Brits, and he was killed defending the island of Malta in the Mediterranean. And then this week, I made copies for everybody to be placed in record on one of the local family names, the Hogan family name. In the research for that, the Genealogy Society was able to find an article in the Press Journal dated from the 5th of November, 1943. And it basically says, in its invitation for the local folks to come to a memorial service for Edward Hogan, Luther Edward Hogan, at the First Baptist Church on November 24th, 1942. What ended up happening, Luther Hogan was my mom's age, born in 1919, went off, became a pilot of a B-24 bomber. And for those of you that are reading, there's a new book. It's going to be made into a movie called Unbroken. And that's the story of a young man who grew up in Philly or New York, became an Olympian, ended up being a B-24 pilot. Instead of going to the Atlantic, he went to the Pacific and ended up being captured. Well, in reading the story, I was recalled the Hogan family because if you go to Crestlawn Cemetery, you'll find there a memorial to Luther Edward Hogan, and it stipulates that he was killed as a pilot of a bomber in the North Atlantic. So the two men, one went west, one went east, and his flight of aircraft, they don't know what happened to, whether it was a storm, whether it was maintenance malfunction, but they did not return. And if you go out to Memorial Island, as you walk through the center of the square there, on the ABC, third column from the beach side, about halfway down, there's a cenotaph that says Luther Edward Hogan, and it's in honor to him. And it's just exemplifies what every generation has to bear in providing for our freedoms. So that's all that I have from my seat. Barb, anything?
I'm good.
John?
Well, we finalized plans for the Marine Corps Ball, if I can mention that again, and invite the City Council and staff and any veteran that's interested. It is, of course, we have the sights and sounds and symbols that are traditional in the Marine Corps, but every person who loves veterans and the country is welcome to attend.
Even soldiers.
Especially soldiers. We will also have a tribute to all of the branches of the service besides the traditional cake cutting ceremony where we have the oldest Marine and the youngest Marine with a sword, and we'll march in the colors and rededicate the detachment colors and read the original charter that formed the Marine Corps. A lot of things that have been going on for 239 years, and it's at Point West. We met with them, and they're going to put on a nice party for us out there. And it's the Saturday, the weekend before Veterans Day, so it would be a good way to honor veterans and have a help toast to the Corps, so to speak. We'll have a Marine Corps punch for the occasion, and it's Saturday, November 8th. And just want to invite everybody.
What are the times?
It's Saturday, November 8th, and cocktails are at 5:30, and the presentation of the colors is at 6.
How much?
And then at 6:15 we would have dinner. There's music for dancing and other things. It's $40 per person. It's semi-formal, and veterans are encouraged to wear their uniforms, or if they don't have a uniform, they can put their medals on a blazer and come. So.
And when do they need to let you know by?
By the beginning of that week, November 3rd would be.
Okay.
Would be
So
good,
for the audience, if you come and you support the Parkinson's Walk in the morning, you can come in the evening and put on your dress mess or your coat and tie or a fancy dress and celebrate the Marines.
Yes, sir. Uh-huh. Cool. The Marines and veterans will have a tribute to all branches of the service, of course.
No, sir. Nothing.
Ken? Ma'am?
No?
Okay. That concludes the committee meeting this morning. Jim, I didn't ask if you had any notes for us, this group? Okay. All right. Hearing none, this is adjourned. Thank